Por aquí no, ¿verdad? Por acá, por acá, por acá. Ok. Más rápido con la doña.
That's strange. These don't look Romorian to me. More like last century Fontaine.
Tampoco veo signos de deterioro.
Adventurers from last century Fontaine, huh? Oh, Modeste and Savelli, do you think they camped here?
By the looks of it, this was a one-person camp. They adventured together, but maybe one of them came back alone at a later date.
Echamos un vistazo.
Oh, you really think so?
Trust our adventurers' instincts. We're pros at this stuff, just like you're a pro in the kitchen.
Bueno, mayormente puedes confiar en mi profesionalidad.
Okay, well, the Traveler has more adventuring experience overall, but Paimon's definitely a pro rummager from all those treasure chests.
Y bingo, aquí está.
Darn it! Paimon was just about to show off her rummaging skills.
Huh, no kidding. Are all adventurers so obsessed with journaling? I mean, I guess I take a lot of notes when I'm cooking as well, but I thought that was just me.
Anyway, let's find out who was here.
¿Nos van a hacer leer? Bueno, gracias.
It's exactly the way I remember it. This place probably hasn't changed in millennia. Sadly, up above, on dry land, everything has changed. The treasure of Remoria. That's what we used to call it. Modeste was right about its potential. It turned Gâteau de Bourg into a national sensation. Our limited stock of the substance meant that the gâteau could only be produced on a small scale. But this only drove up the popularity all the more. Modeste was right about that too. He predicted all of it.
No quería que
He was praised
ocurriera.
as a genius, while I, as the one person who'd ever disagreed with him, was labeled a talentless fool.
Diablos.
Modeste tried his best to console me, but I knew better than anyone just how great the gulf was between us. Our conversations grew scarce, and we saw less and less of each other. I didn't fight it. He had new friends and a career of his own. Why invite further disdain by inserting myself where I did not belong? I told myself that maybe one day, when I finally created a masterpiece of my own, I'd be able to face him without shame.
Pero eso no pasó, ¿verdad?
Or maybe one day, when I've put these feelings of self-loathing behind me, I'd be able to ask him with a smile on my face, how about we go on one more adventure, for old time's sake? Unfortunately, that day will never come.
Pero entonces él no metió nada.
From the sounds of it, he came back after Modeste had already died.
Pero entonces él no lo mató.
I always
Claramente no.
thought it was just a legend. But if it's true, then this must be the place where they found their secret ingredient. The birthplace of Gâteau de Bourg.
In that case, what does that say about the death of Modeste? If it's all true, maybe Savelli really did have something to do with it.
No, no hizo nada. Por eso también regresó por ahí. Sigamos leyendo.
The taste of Gâteau de Bourg has changed. Modeste was convinced of this, even though everyone swore they couldn't tell. Being the perfectionist that he was, he refused to accept even the slightest flaw in
Lo
his
mató el
work.
estrés
He stopped all
de no poder
sales of the product,
volver a hacer el
locked
mismo
himself away in the
pastel.
kitchen, and worked day and night, vowing to find out where he had gone wrong.
Ah, claro. Volvemos a lo
But
mismo.
as he baked and taste tested over and over again, he found he only strayed further and further from the original taste. It was only when he was sipping on coffee one day and realized he could not taste the bitterness that the truth finally dawned on him. What had changed was not the gâteau, but his sense of taste. The treasure of Remoria stimulates the senses, taste included, and invigorates the spirit. In the short term, it offers people the ultimate gourmet experience. but in the long term, it dulls their senses entirely.
La gente ya no lo probaba.
In hindsight, it made perfect sense. After all, why would a culture that sought liberation from the constraints of their bodies care for the loss of their senses? But we realized it too late. We were just too late.
Entonces era la
Over the
lumistela.
course of his many culinary experiments, Modeste exhausted the remaining supply of the treasure of Remoria. He consumed it all himself.
O sea que ya no hay
The
más.
finest culinary talent of his generation now faced a future in which he would never be able to taste anything ever again. Finally, in despair, he took his own life.
Ah, se petateó el
And
solito,
because we
se
had become
automató.
estranged, I cannot be there to stop him, to offer some words of comfort, or even to say goodbye. Yet despite everything, he sent me his final letter.
The treasure of Remoria? Guess Monica was really onto something. It really was a kind of drug.
So, Modeste chose to end his own life. Then, why all the rumors that Savelli murdered him? Also, neither the Codex nor any other contemporary records make any mention of the treasure of Remoria.
No, porque lo quería
Almost
mantener en
as if
secreto.
someone deliberately erased it from history.
Modeste told me everything in his final letter. His was a tale of how even a genius could fail, and how much more devastating it is when it happens. Did he hope I would gain some personal catharsis from knowing the truth? Or maybe he wished for me to warn the public about the dangers of Gâteau de Bourg, proving that I had been right all along. But if the public ever learned how Modeste's greatest triumph became his undoing,
Sí,
his fall from grace would be swift and merciless.
sería
1 minute
abandonado.
a genius, the next a joke. It would surely spell the end for his restaurant too. What would be his legacy then? How would future generations view everything we built together? I fear the scorn I have faced these last years would pale in comparison to the scorn shown to him by the history books. I cannot let that come to pass.
Se sacrificó él para que se
I
pudiera
will do what I
mantener.
must to protect his name. It will mean tampering with his notes to remove the damning details, leaving mere fragments of our story behind.
Ah,
It may lead his family to suspect me of having a hand in his demise. But if that's the price of destroying all evidence of my crimes, then so be it. I would rather the world believe a tale of genius and jealousy than see his reputation in tatters. The
Yeah,
final
but-
loose end is the evidence here, at the bottom of the sea.
oh no, tenemos que detener a Mónica.
Huh? What's wrong? Didn't we say Savannah should be safe for now?
So we thought, but if Monica finds out what happened to the treasure, there's no telling what she might do.
Ya no se escuchó, ¿verdad? Detén a Mónica. Los bárbaros que ingieren están perdiendo poco a poco parte de su... No hay de qué preocuparse. El deseo de deshacerse de un cuerpo de carne y hueso y también el primero... Es el primer paso para hallarlos. ¿Me estás diciendo que los soldados de piedra son estos? ¿Que han estado comiendo esta cosa? Tendría al fin una explicación de estos soldados, ¿sabes? Que los dejaron... ¡Guau! ¡Qué bonito!
The treasure of Remoria. I have found you at last. Savelli, you tried your best to bury the truth, but you underestimated the children of Modeste. Some fragments of his diary escaped your clutches, and we have held on to them for generations. But I have to thank you too, Savannah. Without your help retrieving the Codex, and with it the last piece of the puzzle, I may never have found this place. But now, finally, the secret to Remoria's military might is within my grasp. The treasure of Remoria is mine!
¡Está loca! Ya no hay nada.
Empty?
Yep.
It's empty?
Monica? Oh, we were seconds too late.
Escoffier? What's the deal with that jar?
Savelli's final act! He wanted to conceal the secret of the treasure forevermore and make sure it would never harm anyone again. So he came here after his friend's death and destroyed every last shred that remained.
This can't be happening. All the years I spent piecing together the truth. All my painstaking planning. All that for an empty jar?
La cara está bonita, no la
Don't
rompas.
do anything stupid. This ruin is more dangerous than you realize.
Oh, shut your pie hole!
No, la jarra está muy bonita.
Praise be to Lord Remus. You barbarian shall be slain.
She's a nutcase! A liability to herself and everyone else.
Ya ves.
Well, now it's up to us to clean up the mess she's made. Take these golems out.
Yeah! Look out below! Charge!
Wait, hear me.
Now you shall perish!
Tata. Ah, no.
This place still
No es grabación. Será por la pelea de hace un momento.
Either way, it's all her fault. Enough chit-chat. Let's get out of here, Traveler Escoffier, come on!
Okay, I'm coming.
¿Qué diablos?
Oh, no, you don't. If I can't get what I want, neither will any of you.
¡Está loca!
I've got nothing to show for my life's work so far. But if I can take another so-called genius down with me in my final moment, then it was all worth it.
You're a psycho.
Sí.
Savannah? When did you wake up?
I may be a lousy chef, but it looks like I'm not a complete waste of space.
Oye, tenemos que irnos.
Traveler? Okay, let's go.
Ahí dejémosla, que se muera. A ver, le vale queso. No importa.
Escoffier! Savannah!
Traveler and Paimon!
Soy fan del actor de doblaje de este señor. Repito.
What did you expect us to do? Stay at the restaurant and sit on our merry derrieres while the Traveler and Escoffier were out here risking their lives?
We had to do something, even though that something ended up being, well, waiting for you here instead.
I don't deserve any of you. And I certainly don't deserve to be your head chef. It was my fault Escoffier had to leave. Then I couldn't live up to her standards. I acted like a tyrant in the kitchen.
Bueno, al menos lo arreglo. Oye, ya si aprende. Hay gente que ni aprende.
Come back, Escoffier. Come and be our head chef again. I'll never be able to replace you.
Okay, so everything I said to you the day I left, it just went in one ear and out the other?
Huh? Sorry, I was kinda in my own head at the time. All I could think about was the Lumiline situation. What was it you said again?
Forget it. It doesn't matter. Anyway, I didn't leave this job because of you. And you're not nearly as awful a chef as you think. If you were that bad, why would all your staff show up here for you?
Exacto.
Escoffier's right. Sure, you nitpick our work and get us to do things over a lot. But when it comes down to it, you're the one who's always doing whatever it takes to make sure the customers get served on time, every time.
Things were pretty rough after Escoffier left, and Savannah's the only reason we've been able to make it through.
Our customers know that Escoffier doesn't work for us anymore. But the fact is, they keep coming back. If
Exacto.
that's not an endorsement of your work, I don't know what is.
Podrían haber dejado de ir y mejor ir en donde estaba Escoffier, ¿sabes? Pero no lo hicieron. Bueno, tal vez aumentó un poco, eso sí, la clientela en el río Ceniciento, pero...
No, I get what you're saying, but what I did to Firmin and to Escoffier, it's unforgivable.
Well, about that, there's someone else here to see you, Chef.
It's
Firmin?
been a while, Chef Savannah.
Firmin? I'm so sorry. I put far too much pressure on you. And the way I stubbornly refused to go and see you after you fell ill. There's no excuse. But I'm too late, aren't I? The damage is done. I heard that you can't even hold a kitchen knife anymore.
Actually, I think I'm going to be just fine.
Huh?
We thought Firmin's problem was purely psychological in nature. But after the threat letter came to light, it got Firmin thinking. And then he remembered the tea that Monica used to give him every night. And as it turns out, she was lacing it with Lumaline the whole time.
¡Qué desgraciada!
Cause nerve damage?
It can. High doses pose a risk of serious nervous and sensory complications. But if you calculate the dosage carefully, you can control the extent of its effects. A small dose might simply make a person more emotional, whether that mean more fragile or more hot-tempered.
No wonder it seemed like you'd lost your edge.
I asked my friends at the Fontaine Research Institute about it. They said that with the low dose I was taking, the risks are pretty small. They also
Pareces mucho
fixed me
más
up
seguro
with
de
some
ti
meds
mismo.
and said I should recover in no time. Well, that's what happens when you give someone a little bit of hope to cling on to.
Pero qué desgraciada la Mónica.
We believe that Firmin was likely not Monica's only victim.
You mean she poisoned me too?
Por eso estaba nerviosa y era muy...
That's why Savannah
Ajá.
was so irritable this whole time.
Ajá.
Let's not be too quick to blame everything on the Lumaline. That stuff can only amplify what's already there. So tasty food will seem like the most delicious thing in the world, while food you don't particularly care for will become utterly revolting. So you better make sure you reflect on your behavior and apologize to every single person you've wronged.
I will. I'm sorry. There's still one question that's really bugging me. Why is it that no matter what I do, my Gâteau de Bourg never tastes the same as yours? Is it just... I mean, is it because you're a genius and I'm not?
Pobrecita. Ahora ya sí siento
Because the heating
pobrecita de
element in
ella.
your oven is broken, you silly goose.
¿Qué?
What?
¿Eso es todo?
I felt like something was off during the cooking contest. Once I got around to checking all the equipment, I noticed it right away. There was a half-degree discrepancy between the temperature setting and the actual temperature. All the ovens in the whole kitchen had the same problem, which confused me at the time, but by this point, it's pretty obvious that Monica must have tampered with them.
¿Cómo para
I would
qué?
have figured it out the day of the bake-off, since the issue affected both our teams. But of course, Monica sabotaged mine so that could never happen.
No. I spent so long trying to find out where I was going wrong, and then you pinpoint the problem in just one night? It all comes back to one simple, undeniable truth. You're a genius, and I'm just plain old Savannah.
Oh, cut it out! Stop the woe is me act for a second and just think. I came up with this
Telenovela.
recipe.
Claro.
You don't think that might have something to do with it? Do you know how long I spent perfecting my gâteau de bois? 3 years! 3 whole years! I know this dish inside out, back to front and upside down. And you've been head chef now for what, 6 months? If that? A couple hundred failed attempts, and you're gonna throw in the kitchen towel and declare you'll never be successful because you're not a genius. You clearly have no idea how many kitchen failures I've had under my belt, or just how long it took me to finally get my recipe to a level I was satisfied with. Genius or not, everyone makes mistakes. Modeste did, Savelli did, everyone does.
En
You're only a
efecto.
lousy chef if you don't face up to your mistakes. Learn from them and then keep chipping away until you crack the problem once and for all.
Yep.
Surely you haven't forgotten all that. You were no lousy chef back when I handed you the reins.
I haven't forgotten. And I'll make sure I never do.
That's our head chef.
Haha! Sounds like we won't need another changing of the guard in the Hotel de Bord kitchen anytime soon. Huzzah!
What a perfect ending to a crazy journey.
Viaje de locos, ¿eh?
Look
Pues
how
ya
cute
ves.
it is.
So you got your mojo back now?
Yeah. Thanks to you, Escoffier. In fact, no. Thanks to all of you.
Aw, friends again. So nice to see them finally settle their beef.
La verdad que sí.
Good. So now that's out of the way. It's time for payback. You cheated in our last bake-off, and I demand a rematch right now.
Oh.
But that was mostly Monica's fault, wasn't it?
Right. And also, does it have to be right now? Savannah's only just got her mojo back, and you barely escaped from a death trap.
No excuses. This is a
No,
cooking
bueno.
contest between 2 top chefs, and nothing will stand in its way. So
Ya
grab
volvió a
your
ser la
spatula
misma.
and get ready, because this rematch is happening today, right now, this instant.
Hey, so, this whole time you were salty about losing?
Ooh. Haha.
The
Ah.
second cooking contest commences now!
This time, no more games, and no holding back.
Estos. Ah, la combinación de animación con 3D.
I feel like I don't have the right to be here.
Hey, what are you so afraid of? You can't unbake it now. And if you don't serve it, then good or bad, you'll never find out how to improve. If you're too scared to fail, you'll never know what real success tastes like.
Sí, la verdad que sí, cuando te llega el éxito muy rápido no lo valoras.
Embrace your failure. Taste it. Digest it. That's the way to success.
I don't know. Sounds like it's easier said than done.
I'll do it.
Pero ¿cómo terminó?
The results are in! A landslide victory for Escoffier!
Claro que sí.
Quite rightly, too. Piece of cake.
Su cola indica que está muy contenta con el resultado.
Oh yeah, look at that! Savannah looks pretty chipper too, considering she lost.
No has hecho esto por ti, ¿verdad?
Now, where were we? Yes. Do you have any more questions for me after everything that's happened?
¿Qué planes tienes ahora?
I thought Navia would have filled you in. And actually, I said all this to Savannah before I left. Although, as we saw, I don't think any of it sank in. I had 2 reasons for leaving. One was the food safety incident, of course. But the other was that the Hotel de Boer had reached a point where it didn't need me anymore. So I decided to step down and look for new opportunities to improve myself.
¿Era necesario ir a la cárcel para ceder tu lugar?
Well, a while back, I got to know a fellow chef from
Qué fuerza de
Ningún,
voluntad,
and in
sinceramente.
her, I saw so many new possibilities. She has
Ah,
that same adventurous spirit that Modeste and Sibeli had in their youth. Slime mucus, lizard tails. With her, nothing's off the table.
mira
There's a
nomás.
whole world of new flavors out there waiting to be explored, hiding away in ingredients we overlook.
Claro, recordemos que no es el primer personaje chef
Case in point,
en el juego.
remember those Romaritime flowers down in the ruins? I used them in the cooking contest just now. Did you taste the difference?
What? Paimon didn't notice at all.
Half of the art of cooking is dissecting the recipes of previous chefs and figuring out the exact constellation of elements that gave their work its signature taste.
Sí,
The other half, it lies in freeing yourself from the confines of the kitchen.
justo.
You've got to go out and explore the endless possibilities out there.
Uh-oh.
Porque así al menos
Paimon suddenly
tienes ganas de
mentioned she
hacer
wants
un
to try
ingrediente,
cooking
bueno,
anymore.
una receta y dices, ay, pero no tenemos ron. Pues sí, pero lo puedes usar con otras cosas más. Hay muchas cosas que no a fuerzas requieres cierto ingrediente para que te salga bien el resultado. Bueno, yo siempre estaré dispuesta a ser tu catadora.
Don't worry, it's not
sea, porque,
gonna be
por
a
ejemplo, en mi
free-for-all
caso,
like in Modeste's time. Before I
A mí
put
me gusta,
anything in my food,
o sea,
I'll
mi familia
obviously
siempre
do
me
my
pide,
research,
cada vez
make
como que hay
sure it
reuniones,
doesn't
que haga
contain
el
any
flan
harmful
napolitano.
substances. In the
Pero han sido
meantime,
tantas veces que me
take
acabé el
this.
ron de la
It's a
casa.
recipe for petite
Y entonces a falta de ron,
revised
pues entonces usé el
version.
brandy. Y
I
salió bien.
tweaked it to suit your needs as busy
Y a falta de
adventurers.
brandy, después me acabé el
Hope
brandy
you
y usé
enjoy and
tequila. Bueno,
remember,
ahora es mejor
feedback
con
is
tequila.
always
Independientemente de que tengamos ron o no,
Alright.
uso tequila. Y le da un sabor mucho más
You
rico,
ever
o al
see
menos
yourself
a mí me
returning to
gustó más.
Hotel de Boer?
Y a la familia también.
Oh,
So,
of course. I've already promised Spanish M that I'll come
puede
back
ser de que
every
no,
once in a while
seguir
to
la
make sure
receta
the quality
igualito
of
a
the
como
food
está
remains
aquí
at
en
an
el
acceptable
Pinterest,
level.
como está en el Instagram, como está en de tal. Sí, pero no me gustó que estuviera tan dulce. Pues le bajas en la siguiente, le quitas el azúcar. Ay, pero termina muy salado. Pues le quitas la sal. Ay, no me gusta mucho el sabor del romero. Pues le quitas el romero o le bajas la cantidad de romero. O sea, de todos modos, el gusto se rompe en géneros. Hay personas de diferentes zonas, de diferentes lugares en que pues, les gusta más de cierta manera o de cierta otra.
You know, Paimon's still a little disappointed that we never got to see the treasure of Remoria. Surely Monica wouldn't have gotten drawn in so deeply if it wasn't for all the mystery surrounding the original Gâteau de Boer. She practically dedicated her life to finding the lost pieces of Modeste's diary. Then went to all that trouble to infiltrate the Hotel de Boer. And in the end, it was all for nothing.
La respuesta que tanto tiempo había estado buscando no fue más que palabrería.
Since you mentioned the treasure, between Modeste's writings and what we saw in those ruins, I think I may have figured out the truth. The so-called treasure of Remoria was most likely a substance that the Remorians extracted from Lumitoids, better known to us as Lumiline.
Exacto.
So then,
Porque tiene los mismos
why all the
efectos.
hype back in the early days of Gâteau de Boer?
Don't forget, it
Porque en
was
ese
a
momento
very
apenas,
different
exacto,
era. We
no
could
lo
barely
habían
even
encontrado
refine
todavía.
sugar back then, so desserts were very much in their infancy. In a world of bland food, it's no wonder that the first thing to really excite people's taste buds took the world by storm. And as for the Lumiline, it may well have been somewhat valuable in ancient times. But these days, it's just another drug from the Fontaine Research Institute. Even if Savelli hadn't destroyed it all, I doubt it would be worth that much these days.
So after all that, there was nothing in those ruins but worthless junk. Feels strange to say,
Sí.
but Paimon almost feels sorry for Monica. She sacrificed it all only to get nothing in return.
Ya le estaban diciendo de que estaba loca. ¿Qué te puedo decir? Tiene lo que se merece. Sí, Paimon, pobre Mónica. Bueno.
Huh? Navia? You just got back from that underwater ruin, right? Well, check it out. They ran a special issue. Did you see anything like this down there? Freshly unearthed from the ruins of Rumoria. A magnificent jar thought to be over 1,000 years old. Experts say it has immense artistic and historical value. It could be worth an absolute fortune.
¿Cuál fue el que rompió la Mónica?
Isn't that the jar they used to hold the treasure?
Ja, ja, ja.
If only it was still in one piece. Some butterfingers must have dropped it or something. Ugh, it's such a shame.
La mensa de la Mónica. Rompió lo que podía haberle salvado.